Runners everywhere are gathering for a special event. I'm Leggy Starscream, and this is your Final Fantasy Randomizer Community Update. Good evening. They call it the Onrac Summer Vacation League, a 5-week festival where adventurers demonstrate their smarts, strength, skill, and speed in a competition to claim the mystical emblem of summer. Demarine has the story.
Thanks, Leggy. I'm here on location in Onrac, a sleepy oceanside town that, for just 2 months of the year, becomes a hotspot for adventurers in the know. Heroes have gathered here for 5 weeks of intense competition. But it's not all lighting orbs, collecting shards.
Ducklings are what the community calls warriors new to adventuring, and many veteran adventurers take the opportunity to train a new generation of heroes very seriously.
Some will even go so far to say the camaraderie is much more important to them than a chance at winning the emblem. It's not only about running the race either. The closer to the official opening we get, the more that spectators crowd the streets. Which does cause a few issues. Back to you, Leggy.
Thank you, Demarine. If you're interested in participating in the league or in spectating its matches, you can find more information on Discord at discord.gg/P5MDYUE or on the web at sites.google.com/views/FFR-Onrac-Summer-Vacation/home. Let's turn to our sports reporter, Shadow Walker, for a closer look at how the league will be run. Shadow?
Thanks, Leggy. The Onrac Summer Vacation League consists of 5 flag sets raced 4 times each, a total of 20 races. Races will be held 4 times a week, at the same times each week, 8 p.m. Thursday, 9 p.m. Saturday, 8 p.m. Sunday, and 10 p.m. Monday, and will be broadcast on Randomizer. Racers are invited to participate in as many or few of the races each week as they are able to, with the single best performance over the course of the week determining the week's final ranking. At the conclusion of the week, we'll hold a special broadcast to finalize the leaderboard and preview the week ahead. The top 8 racers each week will earn a prize, a bracelet imbued with protective magics. Whenever that runner's name appears on the official website or during a broadcast, their earned bracelets will also be listed. When a new week begins, the leaderboard is wiped clean, leveling the playing field for a brand new competition. It's like 5 mini-tournaments packed into one. But it's not just an individual competition. For runners who are part of a team, their individual performance is combined with that of their teammates to create a team score. The single top team each week will be presented with a garland infused by the force controlling that week of the league. the 5 garlands of Earth, Fire, Water, Air, and Chaos are powerful artifacts in their own right, but the true prize of the Onrac Summer Vacation League is the mythical emblem of summer itself, a divine relic that gives its bearer unlimited seasonal power. The team whose combined score over all 5 weeks of the competition prove themselves to be the greatest adventuring company of the summer shall be awarded the ultimate honor, holding the emblem of summer in trust until the next summer competition arrives. Now I hear what you're saying. Won't some seeds be easier than others? If my best time each week determines my ranking, aren't I being punished if the one race I happen to miss is a jet seed with an average time of 1 hour 20, while my other races were closer to the 2-hour mark? Well, that would be the case, except that we count your best performance relative to the average of that seed, rather than your best raw time. Let's take a look at an example. Once all racers have finished or forfeited, the runners' times are compared to one another. Any runner who does not complete their run will be removed from the rankings as if they had not raced at all. Then the outliers, the top and bottom 10% of finishers, rounded up, are temporarily removed from the calculation, leaving only regular values. From those, we calculate a mean time and a standard deviation, such that roughly 70% of the remaining times are no more than 1 standard deviation away from the mean. A time exactly on the mean is rated at 50 z-points, with 1 standard deviation faster or slower moving the score up or down 20 points. Armed with our mean and our standard deviation, we re-include the outlier times and rate everyone. This results in most racers getting a score between 1 and 100 points. Now that we know how different each runner's performance was from the average, we can identify their best performance from that week. This lets us rank each participant against one another despite the differences in individual seeds. The top 8 finishers earn their bracelets, and then we wipe the slate clean for the next week. Team rankings are derived from the individual rankings for the week. Each placement is given a number of team points equal to the distance from last place. In a 50-member league, first place earns 50 points, second earns 49, and so on, all the way down to 50th place earning a single point. Racers who didn't participate in any of the 4 races for the week, or who dropped out of all races that they did participate in, are listed as unranked on the leaderboard and contribute no points to their team's score. For each team, the rankings of 3 of its members determine the team's score. On a 3-person team, each member contributes. For a 4-person team, the lowest ranking score is excluded, and a 5-person team drops the 3rd strongest and 5th strongest rankings. The team with the highest score each week earns the elemental garland of that week, but it's the team that's shown the most smarts, strength, skill, and speed over the course of the whole 5 weeks that takes home the emblem of summer. Even if you don't earn any garlands, you might be ahead in total points by the end of the summer. It's a competition where racers rise and teams triumph, where if you had a bad race one night, you just have to get back up and try again the next night, where your team's diversity and talents can carry you through the flag sets that are your personal weak points. There's nothing like it. It's summer, baby! Back to you, Leggy.
Thanks, Shadow. Wow, that's complicated. But as a runner, all you have to do is show up and do your best. With the diversity in teams we've seen so far, I'm sure it'll be a close race the whole league through. And that diversity is key, because each week all league, runners will be faced with new and exciting challenges to overcome. A Tiny Fairy, can you tell us some of what we might expect as summer vacation begins?
Of course, Leg. I'm a Tiny Fairy, and this is your flag set forecast for the Onrac Summer Vacation League. There are some prevailing conditions that will last the whole summer. Right off the bat in Coneria, we can see that there's a completely open party, no forced or banned classes on any week, although there is the occasional twist. Thief buffs are in full effect, doubling Thief and Ninja's hit growth and making Ninja more than able to hold their own in battle, still second to the Knight in terms of raw damage, but with high running ability, utility magic, and access to the powerful katana. Over in Provoca, we see a full shop shuffle and magic level shuffle. Any spell or piece of equipment that was for sale in the vanilla game could be shuffled to any shop. Down in the Elfland region, we see our first dungeon of the season. Monsters this summer have a standard shuffle with scripts, skills and spells, and status attacks all shuffled, along with unrunnable and ambush formations. Over in the Melmond area, trap tiles take an interesting turn, staying B-side all season. B-side encounters tend to be more unpredictable, harder, and much more valuable, so runners will need to prepare when scouting tiles and judge the risk and reward for taking fights instead of running from them. Then, down in Crescent, we can see that all key item locations are open early. Sarda, the Circle of Sages, and Castle Ordeals all have no requirements to claim items from. The full suite of location changes is in effect, with Zozo Melmond, Titan's Trove, Confused Old Men, and Lefanish Hospitality. And of course, extended open progression will allow runners to canoe between Provoca and Crescent, sail to the north, and even dock at the Ryukon Desert without a canoe. Now, I know a lot of runners are planning to stop by the Cardia region during the season, but I do want to warn you that magic defense values are vanilla, so a promoted black belt will lose most of their MDef growth. If you have a black belt, plan to skip Cardia or to make it one of your final stops before closing out your run. Up in Onrac, home of the OSV League, the Waterfall Cave is looking a little strange, with the heat and mists of the season making it appear different every time you roll a new seed. Be careful not to get lost. Then, over in Gaia, we can see a low-pressure area moving in with progressive XP and gold rewards per key item pickup. The exact bonus varies from week to week, but progressive XP will put your average party level in the low 30s for most weeks, and the extra gold will make endgame equipment easy to acquire. I don't think anyone here is from Lufania, so let's just skip that part. Finally, as we approach endgame in the Yanakurm region, we can see that all bug fixes are in effect, as well as the balance change of Lock and Lock 2 having max accuracy. With boss percents of up to 300% and multiple clamped weeks during the season, it may be almost necessary to carry a black caster for the chance to use Lock against a near-max evade Chaos or Fiend. Those are your prevailing conditions for the League, but let's take a deeper look at each week. As you know, large-scale tremors and earthquakes have devastated the Melman region and much of the world beyond. During Earth Week, as part of the volunteer cleanup crew, runners will be asked to map out the new world. This is a floor entrance shuffle flag set, which means that with some exceptions, any overworld entrance could lead to any location, and any staircase could lead to any floor. The new geomantic connections of the reformed world also mean that old enchantments have gone awry. Caster items like the Thor Hammer and Mage Staff will now cast random spells. There could be a Fade Sword just as easily as an Aether Helmet. With no loose items, runners will be able to move quickly through floors, only opening chests if they feel unsafe with their current equipment. But with enemy and boss percents nearing 300, they'll want to prepare before re-entering the Temple of Fiends. This flag set is a true test of smarts. Map smartly, dive smartly, grind smartly, open chests smartly, and you'll win. By the numbers, we've got experience at 2 times plus 10 per key item. The enemy rate is 300%. Boss rate is also 300%. That gives Chaos a 15% chance of evade cap. Bring a black caster. The par time for this flag set is about 2 hours 15 minutes. Next week, there will be an upswell in fire energy coming from the heart of the Gurgu volcano, which tends to agitate the wildlife. Runners are tasked with a classic 2018 Swiss-like experience while dealing with clamped enemies and bosses, whose stats average significantly above their vanilla values. The experience rate starts very low here, only 1.2 times plus 250, which means we'll see shop prices add up to a high of 3 times their vanilla value. But with a 20% bonus per key item, experience and gold gains should catch up quickly. Survive the early game, get yourself established, and then dash to the end. This is a test for the strong. Strong of will to survive a difficult early game, and strong of arm to end the rule of the fiends. By the numbers, we're at 1.2 times experience rate plus 20% per key item, a very slow early game with a very fast end game. The enemy rate is 180% clamped. The boss rate is 220% clamped. No chance that Chaos will have max evade, but watch out for that 3,200 average HP and 130 average absorb. The par time for this flag set is 1 hour 45. 2 weeks from now, the force of water will be dominant, and flexibility will be key, as the runners will be asked to demonstrate their skill on a 2019 Swiss flag set, with a twist. Each runner begins with a solo thief, and only with the help of OSV official-provided tour guides can they achieve victory. While party selection is still open, runners begin with only one thief. The rest of the party must be hired via the taverns in each town. Towns are shuffled, so any town could be anywhere, but boat rentals are cheap too, so with a free ship and canal, all but 2 towns are available right from the start. For the first time this summer, equipment is incentivized, bringing the loose item count up to 3. This is a routing challenge that requires adaptability and flexibility, a true test of skill for all participants. By the numbers, we have a 2 times experience rate with 10% per key item, 200% enemies shouldn't be too bad, 220% bosses mean you have to prepare for Topher, but you can dive early. The par time for this is a low 2 hours. 3 weeks from now, the force of air will not be able to be contained and will throw out all the rules. Inspired by our very own Chaos Rush tournament, Air Week is a breakneck pace test of pure speed. With a free airship and no orbs or key items required to finish the game, it's up to the runners to decide when they are ready to take on the Temple of Fiends and do their final dive. The only thing standing between each participant and the ultimate chaos is a treasure hunt. Between 24 and 30 pieces are required to open the way into the final dungeon. 32 can be found in chests, and 12 are available from defeating the now optional fiends. As far as those non-required key items go, they could be anywhere. The only incentive is the tail, to be found in the Flying Fortress, with everything else findable in any chest. Chests are the lock, and the airship is the key, with victory going to whoever can master the speed. By the numbers, we have a 2.5 times experience rate plus 10% per key item, very fast gains in experience, 200% enemies and 250% bosses. A little tough, but with the right party you'll squeak through. The par time for this is a very fast 1 hour 30. Finally, Chaos Week. As the summer comes to an end, the 4 elemental forces combine into a perfect storm of magic that will truly test each runner's smarts, strength, skill, and speed. Returning from the previous challenges are each week's key feature. From Earth, floor and entrance shuffle. From Fire, clamped bosses. From Water, tavern mode with its free ship. And from Air, the treasure hunt. During Chaos, things are as crazy as they can get. Entrances are random, item magic is random, prices and enemy stats are way random. Every possible incentive location is incentivized, along with every possible item and equipment piece. This makes for a single loose item that you must dig out before it's safe to skip chests. Not all is lost, the experience rate is bonkers too, so if you can't figure out how to progress, grind a bit, check your maps and notes, and try again. Only those who have mastered the 4 forces and have the smarts, skill, strength, and speed to overcome them stand a chance at victory here. By the numbers, it's a 2.0 experience rate, but with 20% per key item, you will gain experience very quickly in the late game. 400% enemies, 500% prices, lots of variance there. For bosses, we have 250% clamped. That makes Chaos have an average of 3,500 XP and a 6% chance of capping on evade. The par time for this is 2 hours 30 minutes, but I have seen bad seeds go over 3 hours. What a doozy. What a fun 5 weeks we have ahead. This has been your Flag Set Forecast.
Sounds like your viewers will be in for quite a show. Each team will have a lot to overcome if they want a chance at the emblem. If you'd like a shot at a bracelet, a garland, or the emblem yourself, you can find more information on Discord at discord.gg/P5MDYUE or on the web at sites.google.com/views/FFR-Onrac-Summer-Vacation/home. The league kicks off with a special broadcast Monday, July 15th at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, and signups end the following week on Monday, July 22nd at noon. Even if you can't play, tune into our broadcasts either at the scheduled time on Randomania or beginning a half hour before for a pregame show right here on the Community Center. Once again, I'm Leggy Starstream, and on behalf of everyone at the Final Fantasy Randomizer Community Center, I'd like to thank you for watching. This has been your Final Fantasy Randomizer Community Update.